Hey guys, welcome back. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How are you guys doing today? I've been getting a bunch of requests for a defensive video from my 6'2 multi-8 defense for youth football on how to defend against a power offense that likes to run downhill pretty hard, and how do I defend that? So let's take a look at how I do that. So here's a first offense that we see quite a bit in the league. I've been seeing this probably the last 4 or 5 years. I call it pie. It's kind of a power I variant. It's almost single wingish. We run it. I call it pie. So this is a typical power running offense that we're seeing within our youth football league that's very similar to this. And so what you can see is I've taken my regular 6'2 defense, which the guards are usually here, and I've shifted them this way to the big side of the line. You see they got 4 linemen here. So this nose guard and gunner here shifted over. Now what if they're really hard running to the tackles and kind of that tackle lane, I will put the tackle here in this gap to try to submarine roll these two guys, and then a tackle here, the nose guard, or even move this guy, the bigger tackle, over the nose guard to the backside. I will try to roll this guy. And I may put him here depending on if this guy can take these two guys down. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to submarine roll definitely these 3 guys to create a pile here that the back cannot run to. So he'll get here and have to do this or have to come back, and these blocking backs get stalled. And that's really what we're trying to do with an overloaded power offense right there. And that seems to work pretty good for us. This guy's not going to come down. He's into that. He's going to do his regular contain, which will be here. I'll have this guy kind of step up and wait for the bounce here. This guy, Fred, he's looking for any pass route here. We tell this guy, don't get into the mess. Wait till a pop if you see it. This guy will submarine Zulu those 2 guys. So if you can see, I'm trying to bring down, like you would do in a wedge play, this whole side of the offensive line. So it creates a visible lane for these linebackers here in this Fred. And that's what we try to do. And then the backside, you can say, well, you got this all over shifted. And it's right. I mean, I was reading Shermer or Rex Ryan or one of the old-time defensive guys, and basically they were talking about playing a 4-box on the backside. And that's what I do here. You can see here's the center, and here's my 4 guys playing this box back here. He's over the center. I got a guy taking these guys out. He's not submarining. He's a bigger guy. I usually play... These 4 guys are usually pretty good because there's only 4 of them back here. This D-end, this contain guy, is really good. You don't want to put your weak guy here. This is the best one because he's got to handle all of this, because sometimes this guy go here and bounce back around. So you got to be really good with this. And this corner needs to be watching this, and then he's got to help with contain there. So really what I'm doing on the weak side is what I call a 4-box with 4 guys back there, and then I play 7 to this big overloaded side to make sure they can't run there. And, you know, I'm a big believer in scout film, so I know that they're going here. I'll know how to stop those top 4 plays. But this is what we do with a really hardcore power team that's running right in this area, is we try to bring it down like we would a wedge, so the linebackers, these 4 guys, or at least these 3 guys here, can see what's going on, and this guy's got contain, and this guy's got help to the outside. If they don't really run outside, you can pull this guy back into here scoot your linebacker over, and basically you're running like an old 6'5", and that's really what that's kind of morphs into, is really a 6'5", and depending on if they run wide on the power side, what you're doing with that corner there to move up. So that's kind of how to do that. Let's go to another. Okay, so here's, this is again, depending on if they run wide or they just run right here. This corner here, you can move in here and move your middle guy over here. And you can run this 6'5" thing. But this is what the 6'2" wide tackle will morph into. And you can see the 4 box here with these 4 players here. This guy's taking this guy's taking this guy's taking this. We're trying to bring all of that down. This guy's trying to get in here. This guy's coming up. This guy's playing this. We're reading here, reading here, reading here, getting up right here. So that's how I'm taking a single wing. And again, I'm trying to drop submarine Zulu wedge drop these 4 guys, 4 or 5 guys here. So these 2 guys are having a hard time running into this. They're going to have to sweep. And a lot of times I know if you're running a power offense, a lot of times you don't have that sweep back. Because I know if I've got the sweep back, I'm running kind of a jet thing that I like to run with the speed, my speed offense, if you guys have got my offensive book. So if I've got really fast guys, I'm probably running some angle jets and some speed jet and not a whole lot of power stuff except for short yardage. But this is how I defend the single wing. And, there's some plays, Caesar, some others will say, well, if you do that, we'll get you with that. Okay, well, we're going to stop your main stuff that's coming down that pipe. And then if you do some other stuff, we're going to be prepared for that too. So just make sure you're watching the film. And again, like I said, sometimes I take this bigger tackle and I'll just replace those 2 guys, okay, if I really want to bring this group down. Now, we had a team that was killing us. They had a really fast back. They were running that last formation, that pie formation, and they were running this right and left and down the throat. And so I've had experience with bringing these 4 guys down and making sure they can't run down the throat on us. And so that's what we're doing there. So here's another formation that we see a lot. Basically just a little wishbone or the inverted wishbone. We'll see a lot with an overloaded line. Now look, if they don't overload, you don't have to totally shift, although you may want to bring your Fred down and put him in a dog hole or a secondary hole that you have it shifted to just to bring the tackles down. So, but yeah, you can see I got this 4 box here again with these 4 players. Because they've gone more to the middle and their backs aren't sitting over here, I've moved Fred over here to the middle of the field so he can help out this way. I've still got a nice set over here. I still want to bring this down here so they can't run here because that's what they're trying to set up to do. Now they're going to probably run these little power sweeps out here, and you've got 3 guys to meet them there. And it is tough on the backside. You got to have your better players over there. So make sure you can do that. But that's, and then, depending on if they're not running, I'll probably move this corner back here instead of having him on the line. But that really depends on how fast this corner is and if he's any good. So I guess the main thrust, going back to the first slide out of this, and we can choose another color here, is I really want to bring those guys down with my shifting there and really create a pile so this back has to bounce and figure it out. I don't want him just plowing through there. That's the thing. I want to stop when we're with the power offense. I want to slow that power back down to where he's manageable. Because if you let a big back go, the kids get really afraid of him. So I want to have him slowed down, and I want him to start to stutter step, and then we've got the opportunity versus him just plowing through here, and then he's off to the races. So hopefully you guys can see kind of what we're doing there. If you have any more questions or some more questions or suggestions on that video, or want to see more on that, and I'll be glad. Just put those in the comment fields, and I'll try to do another video on that. If you've got a formation that's really hurting you guys, send me the formation, put it down in the comments, and I'll be glad to try to answer that and how do we make those adjustments. Hey, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up over there. There's comment below. If you like the videos and want to get updates, I've been trying to do one a week. Subscribe to my channel. You can share the video to some of your coaches that might need to see it. I got a store that's linked down below and on my website at coachparker.org. And I'm selling my 2 books, which is one is the 6'2" multi-8 defense for $24.99. It's an ebook PDF version. And I've got the Power Wing Beast offense, which is also an ebook PDF version over at coachparker.org. Links are below. Hey, once again, this is Coach Parker with coachparker.org. Hey, remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. See you guys later. Ciao.